We have in Uganda. It's the biggest ship in Uganda.
The port you see right here is Port Bell. Once, this was a beating heart of Uganda's international trade. Before Entebbe Airport, if you wanted to leave Uganda by water, if you wanted to import goods from the coast, if you wanted to connect to East Africa, you passed through Port Bell. Port Bell was named after Henry Hesketh Bell, a British colonial commissioner. In the early 1900s, steamships began operating between Kisumu and Port Bell. These were not small fishing boats, they were massive steel vessels carrying cargo, railway wagons, and passengers across the lake. Long before colonial administrators drew railway maps, Lake Victoria was already alive with movement. Baganda fishermen navigated its waters in wooden canoes. Trade happened across its islands. The lake known as Nalubale was never empty. Then came the British. By the late 19th century, the British Empire was pushing inland from the coast of East Africa. Their goal: secure control, extract resources, and establish trade routes. The Uganda Railway reached Kisumu in 1901. Suddenly, the lake became a strategic corridor. But Uganda needed a port, and this is how Port Bell was born. A port is never just steel and water, it is an economic machine. Port Bell became Uganda's inland logistics hub, a transfer point between railway, lake transport, and later road networks. Coffee, cotton, hides, and agricultural produce moved outward. Machinery, fuel, textiles, and manufactured goods moved inward. For a landlocked country like Uganda, transport cost determines the price of everything, from cement to cooking oil. Water transport is cheaper than road transport. One cargo vessel can carry the equivalent of dozens of trucks, using less fuel, causing less road damage, and lowering congestion. At its peak, Port Bell supported dock workers and cargo handlers, mechanics and marine engineers, railway operators, small traders, and small food vendors, fishermen supplying growing urban demand, warehouses and distribution businesses. Entire communities in Nakawa and Luzira grew around its activity. Nearby today you find industrial zones, residential communities, Uganda Prison Service Facility at Luzira, and the massive brewery of Uganda Breweries Limited. Their flagship beer, Bell Lager, carries the port's name, a reminder that this was once a symbol of commerce and connection. When the port thrived, money circulated locally, shops thrived, transport businesses thrived, fishing communities had steady buyers.
We are just having fucking fun. Yes. Where the music coming from?
Guys, I want to open up on something. No one has really a very big idea of how diverse Uganda is, like culture-wise. Literally, if you went to Hoima, you'll have a different culture there, different class of people. If you went to Moroto, you'll have a different kind of people there. Like everyone, like it's just unique how there's so many cultures. And everywhere you go, there's a lifestyle. When you go to a place like Gulu, Gulu is also its own lifestyle. When you go to a place like Wakiso, down the side, it's a different tribe, it's a different culture. So there are very many experiences that you can experience in Uganda. When you go to a place like Kapchora, like it's way too hilly, and it also has its own cultures. This has its own culture, so like you can't really, man. Uganda is just so unique, man. I think that's the reason. That's why it's called a part of Africa.
Hey. Marcos, you proceed up to the highland.
No. Been there.
You have been there? Where?
That's the one.
The ripple effect spread far beyond the shoreline. When independence came, followed by political instability and war, transport priorities shifted to roads and trucks. Maintenance declined, ships aged, infrastructure rusted. In 2005, tragedy struck. The MV Kabalega collided on Lake Victoria and later sunk. It was symbolic, the old system was dying. The railway to ferry model became inefficient compared to trucking goods by road. Silting affected docking areas, encroachment affected Portland, investment stalled. What was once East Africa's inland marine powerhouse became quiet. Trucks took over, the lake became secondary, and Port Bell faded. But here's the reality. Uganda is landlocked. Every container imported passes through another country fast. Transport costs increase consumer prices. Road freight damages highways and increases maintenance budgets. Lake transport solves part of that. Moving bulk cargo, fuel, cement, grain, construction materials by water is cheaper, part 1. It reduces wear on roads like the Kampala-Jinja highway. It lowers carbon emissions. It eases urban congestion. For surrounding communities, revival would mean jobs in cargo handling and vessel maintenance, demand for local fish and food supply chains, growth in warehousing and cold storage, real estate appreciation in Nakawa and Luzira, business opportunities for small transporters and logistics firms. For Uganda nationally, lower import costs, more competitive exports, stronger regional trade links, backup logistic routes in case road corridors are disrupted. Under the East African community, integration depends on infrastructure efficiency. Lake Victoria connects Uganda to Kenya and Tanzania without broader congestion on highways. Port Bell is not just historical nostalgia, it is unrealized economic leverage. When you stand at Port Bell today, you will see old piers, railway remnants, industrial warehouses, fishing boats moving gently, but look closer, you see logistics potential, you see untapped inland shipping routes, you see an alternative to expensive overland trucking, you see resilience, especially as Uganda moves towards oil production and greater industrialization. If modernized properly, Port Bell could reduce pressure on road corridors, lower the cost of doing business in Kampala, support petroleum logistics, strengthen bulk trade with Kisumu and Mwanza, boost industrial growth in surrounding districts. It once connected Uganda to the world, and economically it still can. History is not only about buildings, it's about systems. Port Bell represents a chapter of Uganda's economic evolution, from kingdom trade to colonial infrastructure to post-independence transition to modern revival possibilities. It tells us something powerful. Infrastructure shapes destiny. Ports determine trade costs determine competitiveness. Competitiveness determines prosperity, and even when forgotten, history leaves tracks. Sometimes, literally, in steel rails disappearing into grass. The water is calm now, but it has carried empires, cargo, dreams, ambition. Port Bell may not dominate headlines, it may not trend on social media, but it is more than a relic. It is a strategic business asset, a community lifeline, a sleeping economic engine, and perhaps, just perhaps, its next chapter has not yet been written. This is Port Bell, Uganda's forgotten gateway.
So guys, so me here. It's sure hard being here in this view. I mean, sitting near the water. I mean, you could. There are many things you could do here.
There are very many things.
Come and drink. We love drinking. Grab a cold night.
Yeah. So like right now we're just chilling right now, but behind Timothy the two guys cruising, and then the other very far away there is cruising on the board. So there are very many things you can do here.
Yeah, many things.
Guys around. Have you seen that? People around. Yeah. You have to always give yourself once in a while. Give yourself time to just explore what's out here.